The 800-pound gorilla of Florida politics came out and fought us when we were trying to protect kids from the gender ideology. We run the state of Florida. We don't subcontract out leadership to a woke company based in California in the state of Florida. Because woke ideology has infected so many institutions, if you really want to protect the freedom of your folks, you got to be willing to defend them. You can't just say, let it go, because then we're going to be living under an oppressive wokeocracy.
Oh, Jesus, wokeocracy. My head hurts. Ron DeSantis, there he is, putting his war on the woke, a.k.a. Black and LGBTQ folks, front and center as he continues his unofficial 2024 presidential campaign launch today in Iowa. He is not formally running yet, but we all know he is. And according to the Washington Post, he is telling people privately that he intends to. His event today was officially to promote his poorly reviewed memoir, but you know, he proved that just like Donald Trump, racism and cruelty are his only political positions.
I'm sick of elites imposing their vision on open borders on you and on us, with them not having to face the consequences of it. So we thought it was worth it to send 50 illegals to Martha's Vineyard.
That was his biggest applause line. Meanwhile, another Republican governor who's put an anti-LGBTQ and anti-black policies at the center of his potential 2024 run, Virginia's so-called moderate, Glenn Youngkin, tried to defend his anti-transgender policies in a town hall last night.
Look at me. I am a transgender man. Do you really think that the girls in my high school would feel comfortable sharing a restroom with me?
So first of all, Nico, thank you for, again, asking the question, being here tonight, and engaging in this important discussion. What's most important is that we try very hard to accommodate students. That's why I have said many, many times, we just need extra bathrooms in schools. We need gender-neutral bathrooms, and so people can use a bathroom that they, in fact, are comfortable with.
Joining me now is Adrian Shropshire, Executive Director of Black PAC, and Susan Del Percio, Republican strategist and MSNBC political analyst. Susan, my friend.
I know.
I am actually kind of amazed at what Republican strategists, consultants, and base voters think is a good candidate. I'm just being real. I mean, I get Trump because he's a celebrity and they're like, he's on TV. Ron DeSantis' personality is like nails on a chalkboard to me. He just says woke 477 times in a sentence. He just says woke, wokeism, woke thing, woke mob, woke mafia, woke, 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 woke. He just keeps saying it over and over and over again. Here's the polling. 56% in America says woke means to be informed, educated, and aware of social injustices. 51% say woke means being aware of social injustice and not being overly politically correct. 72% support teaching the ongoing effects of slavery and racism in the United States. 76% oppose efforts by state governments to ban certain books in school classrooms and libraries. This doesn't even poll well. Who is his base?
People who...
Other than TV commentators who seem to love him.
Yeah, no, it's people who need an us versus them fight, who are resentful. But here's the thing, Joy. The candidates that the Republican base is putting up, the candidates that they like, are candidates that lose. These are losing platforms. So what I hear is the base saying, we don't care if we win. We're just going, we want someone who's going to be our voice because we've been in the minority so long. Now there's someone to yell and scream for me. Except, you know what people in politics, like donors and establishment people and people who run political groups, like to do? They like to win.
Win. Yeah.
They like to win. And they know this is not the way you do it.
You know, Adrian, I think that the way that the sort of political media zeitgeist works is they say, Donald Trump is losing, therefore Ron DeSantis is the new candidate, we go with him. And then they don't really analyze it any further. There is no difference between the two of them other than Donald Trump has a personality, you know, and has some wit and has a smile on his face. And this guy just seems like just sort of a curmudgeonly anti-black and anti-LGBTQ person. And the reason he won so overwhelmingly in Florida, let's be clear, is about 1.3 million people stayed home and didn't bother to vote. Apathy put him in, not excitement. And somehow people have decided that will translate outside of Florida, where people just literally just are less non-voters. I mean, so give me your perspective here. Will he get 2% of the African American vote or 3%? Because African Americans can see and have eyes and can hear.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think that, you can say or use the word woke as a slur as much as you want to, I guess. But clearly it does not play outside of the base that he is playing to. I mean, Ron DeSantis has decided that the winning strategy for him is one that's as old as the country, quite frankly, which is to pick a marginalized community, demonize them, right? In this case, Black people and the LGBT community, and use that as a way to consolidate your base around a single enemy, right? Youngkin did the same thing when he ran in 2021, right? Okay. Rallying his base around CRT and book banning and eliminating any subject matter that had anything to do with the Black experience in America, right? And so that is what they've decided is a winning strategy. The poll that you just showed clearly says that that is not, that Americans reject this kind of politics. And frankly, the last 3 election cycles ought to tell them that this does not play outside, and it certainly does not play with Black people. So to be clear, right, there's no, as we continue to say, this is not a play to win Black people. This is a play to mobilize the base, right, and maybe demoralize some Black folks, right, with the policies that we're seeing both of these governors implement, maybe demoralize some Black folks, keep them home. But it's absolutely not about winning over Black people.